All right, we're live. We got Rhino on location at middle school softball. Looks like JT might be at his house.
Yes, sir.
Welcome all. Always we're sponsored by Ian Huss, your local mortgage guy. If you have any mortgage needs, feel free to reach out to Ian Huss. Awesome guy, good friend of mine. He'll take care of you. All right, so we got JT on with us this week. Got the Jordan Tallon experience.
I like that.
Congrats on the win. Uh,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
were you guys expecting to win that tournament?
Um, Obviously, no, we weren't. Now don't get me wrong. Our team is rolling and we're hot at the right time. Obviously, coming off that Mojo win. Um, to jump in our first C tournament and expect to have that kind of success, I think would be crazy if I said yes. Um, But we knew that we have a good team. We knew that we'd get a chance to show a lot of the other great teams in the city that we have a good team. So we kind of just picked up where we left off from Mojo, and our bats were good. Obviously, our pitching's always good. Defense was okay, um, but each game we did just enough. So no, we did not expect to win that tournament. I would say I didn't think we would. Um, but it's good to kind of gauge kind of where we're at with everybody and just kind of keep rolling from the mojo when we had.
I'm only going to ask because everybody's wondering: are you guys going to play some more C, or are you going to continue?
Right. um, I tried to pull our schedule up here. We do have more GSLU trip on the schedule. I think City Slam's one of them. Um, I would say yes. I don't know how much. Um, but I know we haven't changed and added any at least yet. But yeah, I mean, I think we expect to be in at least in a couple more this year.
So, do you know what those are? Are you City Slam, State,
Let
something
me
like
see if
that?
I can find our schedule real quick.
Okay. So I'll start recapping as you go here.
Sure.
So it looks like you guys played players first, 8 a.m. West Field Four. Not an easy start to the day. Looks like you guys took care of them 22-10. Um, did they have everybody there this week? I went to watch them the week before, and they had about 7 guys at 8:20. Uh,
Um, I mean, they had a full team. I don't know what their full team looks like this year, to be honest. I think they had most of their guys, but that game wasn't as bad as the score shows. They jumped out on us 8-0 in the first inning. Um, it was kind of one of those for us. We're like, oh, here we go, the old Mojo hangover. But the 6 home runs obviously helped us. We hit all ours. I think they might have hit 2 or 3. So we were kind of able to pull away, but that game was a lot closer than the final score shows.
we have looks 20-0. Well aware. I'm not familiar with them.
I think they're an E team. I don't know if they're new or if they've been around. I didn't know any of the players on the team. They got a bye. That 9 o'clock game would have been sweet, but
And then you
yeah.
guys get Kraken 22-10.
Another team that was up on us through the first 3 innings. I think they were beating us like 8-7, 9-7, something like that. And again, we kind of unloaded our home runs and were able to pull away. But another game that was a lot closer than the score showed. They had a couple errors that let us score some extra runs. But another great D team that competes very well.
Then you beat my team 26-18. We were having trouble with the wind. You guys seem to be okay with it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys are a great team. Been a great team for a while. I know a lot of the guys from playing with you guys a little bit last year. But I believe same thing. I think you guys were up on us early. We kind of hung around. We hit a couple big home runs when we needed to, and like you said, I think um, we kind of just kept that consistent scoring going on later in the innings, as opposed to I think maybe you guys might have only scored a few runs here and there in those final few innings, which kind of let us.
Yeah, we left a lot on the bases. We have a bunch of lefty hitters, but we don't have a ton of lefty power hitters. You guys had a few. Ryan Rickey sticks out. So we got them on. We had trouble getting them in. And
Yeah, I
then
think Ryan and myself hit a couple home runs that game. It seemed that wind did kind of seem to favor the left-handed batters. Your lefties are also about half the size of me and Ryan Rickey, so we might just need to get them on our diet plan.
yeah, and we didn't have Lightsey, who likes to kind of hit it to right center.
Yeah, obviously you guys were missing arguably one of your top players, so
Yeah,
that doesn't help. We'll take it though. We appreciate that.
yeah. He was at girls, his daughter's soccer.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then you guys take care of Steve's, who's also hot right now, 27-20. How'd that game go?
It was another good game. I think we scored one run in the first inning. They came out, I think, and they hit through their lineup. I want to say they sent 10 or 11 to the plate and got out on us early. Another game where we started out slow, and then kind of that third or fourth inning kind of just started chipping back into it. They had a couple innings where they might have only scored a few, and that fifth, sixth inning, we were able to kind of use our home runs and kind of throw a decent part of the lineup at it. And I think I want to say we had about an 8-run lead going into the last inning. They had a home run left. I believe Jimmy hit that home run, was a solo to start that inning, so that kind of helped us out. They were out of home runs, chasing 7, and just we put ourselves in a good spot, and they just they weren't able to kind of scratch back that last inning in the bottom of the 7th.
And then you guys beat Days 25-21. I believe that's the last game you played, correct?
Correct. It is. Same thing. We were chasing the whole game. I don't know. That was just the common thing this weekend. They were up on us. We had a little bit of a skirmish out on the field. They kind of went quiet after that, and we were kind of able to add on. And they left a home run on the board, a free home run, and we were able to keep it from them rolling the top of their lineup over that last inning to which is the top 4 of their lineup is just lights out. So the fact that we were able to get through it without getting to those guys, I think obviously helped us win that game.
Sounds good. When you guys decided to split, I guess it got late. You didn't play any of the championship games, right? You split it at that point.
We did not. Hats off to Steve's. They got hot. They went on a good run. They beat a lot of good teams to get back there. I think it was 12:30, 1 o'clock. They had some injuries that happened throughout the day. We had some tired guys. I think the difference in the prize package was about $200. There was no highest finishing lower team, so 250 got added on to first and second place in the open. So we offered it up, and I think because of what time it was and them having a couple guys that got injured throughout the day was kind of on top. It got cold as hell too that night. So
did it?
Oh, it was freezing, man. It felt like it was 30 degrees. I'm sure it was probably 50 or something, but it felt cold. We sat around for probably 4 or 5 hours waiting for the losers bracket to finish up. And, we offered it. And I think because they kind of had some injuries throughout the day, and with it being about 1 a.m. without even starting the championship game, they were willing to split. We split it right down the middle.
Perfect. Ryan, did you have any questions for Tallon about this tournament?
Yeah, you said you guys got in a little on-field skirmish. What was that about?
Yeah, so I know, well, I don't know if you guys know a lot of the Days players. So Chris Berry, he's a chirpy player. He always has been. Great ball player, one of the best I've ever seen on a field. And obviously we have Bo Gray that doesn't take chirpy players on other teams too well.
No.
So nothing happened. It didn't escalate. There no punches, nothing crazy. Just a little what you doing for dinner later type get together out in the middle of the field. And That was it, but it was a big spot for them. It probably lasted 10, 15 minutes. It really didn't get under control until we were able to. Both teams had to kind of take control, but their hitter was up to the plate, and he just stood there at the plate for 10, 15 minutes while that went on. And I think he got a base hit, and the next guy got out, and we were able to kill that inning right there. So actually helped us more than it hurt that, or more than it hurt us, like it hurt them. So. Just normal softball stuff, Rhino.
So I saw Collins posted that Leap played pretty well. It's like he only made a couple outs or something like that.
Yeah, he went 18 for 20. I had that pulled up over here. He hit 900. Obviously, anytime one of us from Legacy hop on this podcast, I feel like all we do is talk about Johnny Leap. But man, like it's deserving. The way he gets us out of innings, the way he holds great ball players and great hitters to not be able to do what they want to do at the plate. And on top of that, when you have a guy like that hit 18 for 20, and the only 2 outs he made was in one game earlier in the day, the rest of the day he didn't get out. So he hits 11th for us. He rolls the top over to myself. I had a great day at the plate, which allowed us to get it to Bo Gray, who hit like 860 or something like that as our hitter. So him being able to roll that top over definitely contributed to the success we were able to have.
The thing I noticed about Johnny Leap is if you have an inexperienced hitter that's not been around for a while, he knows he can get him out. Right? You can see in his body language. I'm sitting there first base coach, and I'm like, okay, he thinks he can get this guy out. And more often than not, he's right.
You're exactly right. Obviously, I catch for him, so I see a lot of it. I see a lot of the game. At the end of the day, it comes in underhand, but there are those guys. You have a pitcher that's one of them that I believe. All your pitchers are great, but Ryan Isles is great at pitching. Josh Benjamin, same way in the city, but I think Johnny's up there with those guys. I think with the success he has, I know he's gotten older, but he really hasn't lost anything. And like you said, if you've got some experienced guys at the plate, he definitely capitalizes on that and doesn't allow teams to string hits together as much. He'll give up a single here, double there. You got runners on second and third with 1 out or so. He'll limit that damage to 1 or 2 runs, and that kind of just lets us hang around until we figure the bats out.
Yeah. Ryan, you played with Johnny Leap a few years back, didn't you?
I did play with Johnny, and I played against Johnny for years. And one thing I've learned from him, sometimes he'll throw 2 balls on purpose because he knows that guy's going to take. Then he'll throw a strike, and now all of a sudden the line's eliminated. Like you've got to hit the middle with 2 strikes, or you don't want to foul out. So I learned, I kind of emulate him on the mound doing the same thing. When I get a really good hitter, I throw 2 balls on purpose because I know they're taking, then I'm going to throw a strike. And then now you got to hit my pitch. Now if it's remotely close, you're swinging at it as opposed to taking it if it's the first pitch. So knowing that, when I face Johnny, I know I'm getting a 3-1 count, and I know I'm going to get a pie, and I'm swinging.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I see it all the time. Like he'll throw 2 pitches where I'm even back there like, dude, what are we doing? Like you've thrown 3 balls all game and now you can't find the strike zone. If he gets you to swing at it, it's a win for him. But if not, you're right. 9 out of 10 batters in the city will take that 3-1 pitch, and now you just shrunk the field to gap the gap or up the middle. He'll do it a lot with guys on first base, hoping you hit it at the middle man 3-2. So you're exactly right. It's a game within the game, and I'd love to be in his mind sometimes when he's out there doing his thing.
I'm one of the few guys that say swing 3-1, swing it, right?
I always swing 3-1. I don't know if Collins is watching or not. He can tell he gets mad at me all the time for it, but I try to be a line-to-line hitter, and if I take that 3-1 pitch, I just took my best swing away from myself. So. And on top of that, the defense doesn't think you're swinging 3-1, so they're a little flat-footed, and sometimes you can hit a bad ball by somebody by doing that.
Yeah, I feel like with no free foul, 3-1's fair game. But you got to have a 3-1 swing. You got to try to hit a line or a gap. You can't be up there hitting a one-hop.
The ground ball to the middle, man. Yeah, right.
So, my players were like, well, I didn't want to swing through and swing it. That you're playing C. This is not E, where the guys is praying for strikes. Right? It's 3-0 for a reason. Maybe he did miss 2 on accident, but he's going to throw one right down the middle, hit that thing.
Right? Yeah, and Z, you're a big stats guy. I know that. I don't know how in depth you keep them, but I would assume that batting averages drop tremendously on a full count as opposed to 2-1, 3-1, that kind of thing. So I don't know if you go that in depth, but wouldn't
I used to. So there were certain batters that I would tell them the first one you like, no matter what the count, hit it. Some players can work the count, like maybe a guy like Rhino or somebody that's been around for a while. But some of these guys are talented, but they don't know the strike zone.
Right.
I have to say like Colin Teagarden maybe.
You got a lot of young kids on your team too, which
right.
they're tremendous ball players. But like you said, and you need a good 5 years before you understand that strike zone. The worst thing is it changes every field you're on.
That's another thing. You get a bad strike called on you, now you're swinging at whatever.
Yeah.
It's tough. So yeah, so Johnny Lee definitely capitalizes on that. Awesome pitcher. Really good for you guys. Who else stood out on your team?
Like I was Bo Gray. Bo Gray hit 860 as our hitter. A lot of home runs, couple walks, a lot of base hits when he needed to. Let me see if I have our averages. Jalen Clark, great outfielder, hit 666 for us. Mike Glasgow, 680. Another guy that we have for GSL that we never get to talk about on here, Adam Bailey plays with us. GSL, he hit 680, but he brings a different element and a swag to our team, and gets along with us great. He's a great infielder. He's a great hitter. So yeah, I mean we did not have one guy hit under 500 on the weekend, so that usually equates to some success. And then on top of that, we have 4 or 5 guys over that 700 mark. Myself, Bo, Johnny, and a few others, maybe Jalen, we're all over 750. So when you get guys in a row like that can keep innings alive and that can, add runs on the board with 2 outs, it obviously those runs hurt and it helps a lot.
Yeah. So where are you guys going in the world? I think I might ask Colin, but I don't remember.
So I know that they are planning on doing some WSL. I want to say right now the plan is I just had that schedule up. Where was it? Right now, I believe that we just have Myrtle Beach One Nation in September. Our worlds we kind of keep up in the air as far as availability goes, as far as who can make it. So we kind of just add those late. I was trying to find some GSL stuff on here. He doesn't label it. The August 3rd Nationals in Columbus, that's GSL, right?
I think so.
So we have that on the schedule. City Slams on the schedule. Some of these I don't know if they're WSL or U-Trip GSL, so I don't really know how to speak on them. But May 4th, that Nationals in Columbus, is that One Nation? That's not a U-Trip event, is it?
I don't think it's U-Trip.
Okay. So yeah, we got 2 or 3. We've had the same 2 or 3 on here. I don't know if last weekend changes anything. We do have a loaded schedule with playing WSL and One Nation. So I don't know if we kick some out and pick some up. And then Collins is very good at flipping the schedule over on us. It's not a solid thing throughout the year. So I don't know.
Was that your guys' first tournament playing on dirt?
Yes,
it was. With you guys at all?
I want to say no because we did well, but I would say, I mean, obviously as a catcher it makes a difference because that ball doesn't bounce up to me, so definitely makes a difference on dirt. No, everybody looked good. We had some errors. We had some balls that stayed down where you could tell guys were kind of looking for that turf hop. But I think you can kind of say that with teams that even don't play turf too. you see it all around the parks, balls that you think are going to hop that don't hop, balls that do hop that you stay down on, and you got to get your face out of the way before you get hurt on it. So I feel like we did okay on dirt. I feel like we did the same as, other teams have to adjust with. I think turf is just a luxury. But most of our guys, obviously being in Cincinnati, have played dirt their whole lives. So I don't think it affected us too much.
Yeah, you guys look good from what I could tell. Sometimes when you play these teams from Columbus or whatever, and they come down here, they really struggle with the dirt.
Sure.
Because it's so much different, right?
I think Amish teams especially struggle on dirt fields when they come to Cincinnati.
Because our dirt's different than like Panama dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Or Orlando dirt or wherever, because I'm not beating up anybody. I don't mean to, but it's dragged at 8 a.m. and that's kind of what it is until pretty late in the day. So
sure.
It's not true hop. So we're used to it. They're not. It kind of gives us a little bit of advantage.
Sure.
Is there anything else you guys want to cover on the open Slugfest? Nope. Okay.
That's good to me.
On to the D. You mind hanging around talking with us for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So we get the Odd Sox and Nephews split. Probably similar situation as you guys.
Yeah, I kind of got some information from Hunter Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
At co-ed on Sunday. Yeah, they actually played the first game, I believe.
Yep, looks like it.
I think that Odd Sox won the first one, and then they said it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and decided to split that game. So I think it was just the same thing. Obviously the tournaments were running a little behind, and I can't blame them. We split 2 hours before they did, and we were exhausted. So I think that they hopped in the losers bracket pretty early too. I want to say he said they played like 11 games or something.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
I can only imagine. And then on top of that, Nephew's obviously a great team, but they don't play as much. I'm sure that was one of their first times out. They got the Sam's brothers on there. They're a great squad, but I'm sure they were feeling that soreness kicking in about 2 o'clock as well.
Yeah, I think I picked the Nephews to win, so I'm going to take the win there. Rhino, your lady's saying something, but I'm not sure what it is. Look, Birchie, it's Rhino. He's not an animal. Rhino, I think you are an animal. You might be on mute, maybe not.
She's with me watching. Yeah, she's with me watching the game. I have no idea what she's talking about. So, did you guys hear about the Scott routing ball fiasco?
I did not.
So apparently, they got caught using some balls that are in the cooler.
Ooh.
Like blatantly using them, and I didn't realize that there's really no penalty for it. This manager gets ejected. That's it. So why would you not do that every single time? I would have a cooler in the dugout. If all you're gonna do is eject the manager, who cares? I'll have somebody else say they're the head coach. They'll get ejected for using the cold balls. We'll get out to a 15-run lead and coast the rest of the way.
So do they just take all the balls at that point, or do they just take that one ball?
No, they had 3 of them apparently. I wasn't there, so this is all hearsay from the Red Lakes team. But apparently Nikki was called out there, and unfortunately the rule is that they really can't do anything about it. That all they do is start ejecting coaches.
Wow.
So basically, blatant cheating again doesn't have really any penalty at all.
No.
Hopefully they can make some kind of amendment for that, because unfortunately it seems like every year we kind of hear some controversy with balls or restitching or something going on. So you'd think that they would have came up with something by now.
Yeah, I want to say they tried to throw a trump in as well earlier in the game. We caught that, and then the balls apparently were cold. I don't know. Again, it's all secondhand information, all hearsay. So I see Nikki said false information. I'm not sure what happened. I wasn't there. This is secondhand info to me.
So Birchie's saying the BSC disqualifies you out of the tournament and your team suspended for 3 months.
Seems more like a reasonable suspension.
But yeah, I was told that the umpire acknowledged that they were definitely cold balls in the dugout.
Yeah, that's tough. It's also tough to prove unless you see them doing it too. So I can see that being a problem. I mean, if it's ice cold, then yeah. But if it's just cool, then who knows?
Well, I mean, the Amish are known for altering bats and stuff like that. And I guess when you actually test, they can't alter the bat. Now they're going to the balls.
So it was the Amish team that did it.
Yeah.
They're always a step ahead of us. I don't know what the hell it is.
I'd argue the balls are a bigger deal than the bats. If you have a really hard ball, that's better than a shaved bat and a crappy ball.
For sure.
So it's a big deal. We haven't played the Amish yet this year, luckily, but I'm sure when we do, we'll have a handful on our hands. On to the E, Miami Valley wins. I left them out of the power rankings. They were not happy with me. You guys caught all of that. Congrats to them. Looks like I was looking where they're from. They're kind of north of Dayton. From what they were posting, they've been struggling in the past, but they finally third time to shine. They come out and win Slugfest, big win. Congrats to them. Looks like they beat Dark Waters in the winter bracket finals, and then they beat Henny Gang out of the loser bracket. Another strong finish by Henny Gang and Dark Waters. Seems to be the class of E around here. Do you guys know anything about these games or these teams?
No, shame on you for leaving them out of the power rankings.
Yeah. I definitely saw the post that riled everybody up, but no, I definitely have seen the names. I don't know much about the players, unfortunately.
I know Dark Waters has that shortstop Zach Rothert that people like a lot. I think it was
Okay, yeah, that kid's a stud. We've actually tried picking him up a few times. I like that kid.
He hits it pretty well too, or is it all glove?
I think his bat is what could probably improve, if anything, of his game, but his glove in the field is so smooth.
All right, so Red Lakes called for a manager. Nikki was on field 6. Her brother went out. The umpire said the balls were not cold at all. There would have been a penalty. I will ask Slim to explain in post. So we'll hear more about that and hear what the real rule is. Do you know who they were playing, Ryo? They were playing Red Lakes?
Yeah, apparently they were playing the Red Lakes.
Okay. We'll have to ask Roy as well.
Yeah. I'll get Roy to explain what he said, because he told me that the umpire definitely said they were cold, and it was the umpire that brought it to everyone's attention after Dries said something.
Gotcha. Well, congrats to all those teams, especially Miami Valley Anarchy. I try to just do Cincinnati. That line is hard to judge. If you play here a lot, then I try to include you. So Miami Valley going forward, I talked to them. They're going to play here a bunch. I'll include them in the power rankings moving forward. Hopefully everybody's happy. I don't mind getting a little crap. It didn't bother me at all. They apologized, but no big deal.
I didn't know that was as serious of a thing as it is, the power rankings. I don't even know what that means, but
it's kind of like if you follow college basketball, it's kind of like it's not RPI, but like Ken Palm or something.
Okay.
It's who you play and who you beat and the scores and how much you beat them by, and it ranks you based on that. And that's ultimately one of the key factors in they use to bump teams. Usually, it's always they will never tell you exactly what it is. About 1150 is kind of the bump line. So if you get above 1150, that's kind of where you're going to be bumped. So it is important. And then they always get confused with points. Points is a function of how much you played. Power ranking is a function of who you beat and when and by how much. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, feel free to leave my team off of there whenever you post them.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think we're about to get bumped to B from the latest ones.
Yeah. Enjoy. It's fun. Yeah. Hell yeah. Everybody wants to be number one. That's how you get good times, good seeing. That's points. So they rank so they seed by points, power rankings, how good they think you are.
Get it together, Berks. Get it together.
So Justin was saying, I will say the game they played us, all the balls had to go through the umpire.
Yeah, so something definitely was
Something's going on. Cincinnati, yes, we are aware Cincinnati is not technically a state. It's just called that because it's own. Cincinnati's always been kind of its own thing. So it includes Kentucky, Indiana, the greater tri-state area. So it's actually a UC term that Bickle used to use all the time. State of Cincinnati, keep everybody home in Cincinnati. So I've used it for this to explain because people ask, do I do the power rankings through Ohio? No, I do it for this area, the state of Cincinnati. That's what that is.
I think Eli was making fun of the post there
Okay.
from
Eli,
everybody getting
Eli,
all state.
Eli must be a Buckeye fan or a Michigan fan.
He can't spell either, so.
Well, yeah. So that's all I have for the Slugfest. Is there anything else we want to touch on Slugfest before moving on?
Good over here.
Good. I think we should touch on the umpires a little bit, and I know this is always touchy. 2 different games, I had umpires make up rules. One of the game we played against you guys, Tallon, he told me we're not going to argue the rule he just made up. So at that point, I said, yeah, we are. And he explained it, and I told him that wasn't a rule. Basically, he said my player left the box. First off, you didn't, but he said it's automatic strike. That's not a rule, as much as you want it to be. And then we were playing Tiger Fitness. So we were down 12, bottom 7. We scored 7, no outs. Man on first and second, 11 hitters up, 2 home runs left, 3-1 count. Tolbert goes and starts to do his wind up. My player requests time. The umpire puts his hand up like this. To me, that means time. The pitch goes. The pitcher throws the ball. The ball almost hits the top of the backstop. Not even close. The umpire calls strike. Do you have any idea why he would call strike there?
That probably would have been my last game of the night.
So I say, hey, you had time, so it should be no pitch. He goes, no, I didn't have time. So your hand was up. He goes, no, it wasn't. Okay, I'm a liar. But why'd you call it a strike? He said, well, he called time while the pitcher was in motion. I said, well, he can request time whenever. He said, no, as soon as he calls time, it's a strike automatically. It's not
Shit, on 3-1 when they call time, this would be a strike. Make it a full count.
Well, that's what he did. And it's not in the rule book anywhere. I double checked. I looked it up. I read the whole thing. It's not a rule. So at that point, we lose all of our momentum. I think we would have had a chance of winning that game because, that's ball 4. Brandon Shelton goes to first. Bases loaded. Dylan Lee comes up. No outs. So you got Dylan Lee, Lightsey, Sam Lawson coming up. I think we have a good chance of winning that game. At that point, the next 3 guys get out. Lose all of our momentum because there's a big argument, all that. Did they cost us the game? No. But did they change the game? Maybe. So it's frustrating. I don't know what we do. I think both those umpires that we have are capable. I don't know why they started making up rules. But it's just something that I think we can do better. And every time I say that, and they say, why don't you go out there and do it? Well, man, I bring 20 guys to the park, dress ready to play. I pay an entry fee. I pay a gate fee. I need an umpire too. No, I think we should just have umpires that know the rules, call the game correctly. And I think these guys are both good enough to do that. And I don't know what your guys' take on it is, but it's been frustrating the last couple times. The week before was a judgment call. He missed it. It happens. It's frustrating, whatever. This was just blatantly making up rules. That's a tougher pill to swallow. What do you guys think?
I try to calm down a little bit on judgment calls because I know it's tough. I've done it before. You're never going to make everybody happy. So a judgment call, I can't really fault an umpire for missing that because it is what it is. But to not know the rules, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I keep my umpire comments as short and sweet as I can because I'm probably already on about every list in the ballpark with them. But no, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, like you're saying, Z, it seems like there are some out there where if they do feel like that they might be getting shown up or anything outside, and I don't agree with it. But the leaving the box early, I have seen it be called a strike. It's not a rule. Your job is to call balls and strikes, whatever that pitch looks like. We've played in Columbus a lot this year. We don't have umpire issues. We don't have a ton of, those guys, and those tournaments are huge. They have a ton of guys up there. So the umpires are definitely around. Like you said, I think the ones locally are definitely capable. Definitely miss some calls here and there, but I don't know. Like you said, you can't talk too much on the umpires without somebody saying, well, then why don't you umpire? So I try to keep my comments to myself. It could definitely get better, but at the same time, I know that it's an issue getting people to want to. So I don't know if there is a solution, an answer, or anything to do about it other than, like you said, those guys are capable. It's just, hopefully it's just early in the year for them too, and they're knocking some rust off.
Hope so. All right, on to the Ironman. One of my favorites. We've won that tournament in the D the last couple of years. Obviously, we're no longer eligible to play D from winning Worlds. So somebody else will get a chance at the trophy this year. In the D, we got BTX, Clark Concrete, D&D Grocery, Mo, Organized Chaos, Players, Six Pack, and Odd Socks. Who do you guys like in the D?
I'm going to take Mo.
Mo's a good one.
Mo's always a great team. They always seem to have it together. For the sake of not copying Rhino, I'll take a play on the D&D Grocery guys. I know they got a good team. I know Johnny's played with them guys a little bit, and I've heard him talk about them guys a little bit. So I don't know. New team. Nobody really knows them, at least up here, I don't think. Who knows? They might surprise a few people. I know Clark Concrete's really good too.
I was going to pick D&D, but since you picked him, I'll go with Six Pack. All right, on to the E. We got the boys, Dim Boys, Dirty Birds, Dirty Dogs, Eights, FOE, Feeling Froggy, Free Agents, Gold, Miami Valley Anarchy, Nasty Boys, Natty Redlegs, Odie, OTF, Outcast, Outlaws, Relentless, Shockers, T-Bone, Tribe. Who do you guys like?
So I don't get yelled at, I'm going to take Miami Valley Anarchy.
I thought that would be Z's pick for sure. He's not going to like this, but I like the Redlegs, man. I think that they've always had success in WSL. I think I think you guys are built for WSL, Rhino. I think you guys have always been competitive in WSLE. I like you guys this weekend.
So I've never played in the Ironman, so I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Unfortunately, we're still extremely shorthanded, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I might have to go to the outfield for a couple games. So,
when's the last time that's happened?
Probably 12 years.
Really?
Hey, I'm not playing.
I have to lock left field down. I'll stand on the line and tell my center fielder I got this little 5-foot area, and he's got everything else.
Sounds like me.
Shorthanded at the Ironman doesn't usually go well together. But good luck to you guys. Just to be different, I'll pick Eights. Usually really strong in WSL. Thought they were D now. Did they not get bumped to D?
Must not have in WSL.
Must not have.
That's a strong E showing, though. That's a lot of teams. I guess when you're supposed to play that many games, you need all those teams. But looks like a lot of teams traveling in, and looks like they got a good showing.
It's a great tournament. Going to Kitten Lakes, everybody complains, but once you get out there, you can tailgate, or everybody's there. It's a real kind of bonding tournament for your team because everybody's there, everybody's together, you're hanging out. Sometimes people bring a grill or whatever, and you're stuck there together. So you're hanging out. Nobody runs home real quick or anything like that. So I've always really enjoyed it.
Isn't it like a 7-game round robin into a tournament or something?
It's 3 or 4 games. I can't remember. I think it's 3 now. It used to be 4. 3-game round robin into 2 and out. It might be a 4-game round robin. 4-game round robin into a 2 and out.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like 7 games just always was like the minimum that we always had to play there.
I think the format this year is 3-game pool play. The seeding's already done. The bracket's already out, and I want to say it's a 3-game guarantee in the main bracket. So I think you're guaranteed 6 games.
It's a lot of games.
So yeah, I was hoping we'd be at Kent Lakes that way because I know we'd have to stay there. But I think we're at MAB in the morning for our pool play, and then we go to East for our bracket play.
Then
it's
the rec
traveling parks. Just from this past weekend, it's tough. I better expect another long day at the park.
Yeah, we never left MAB. We got to East and didn't really show up. So yeah, that car ride can be a killer. So yeah. So we got the rec. We got American Made, American Outlaws, Cincy Freeze, Woodpeckers, Centers the Saints, Slugger City, Smoking Aces, Voodoo. You guys know any of these teams?
American Made.
American Made. I'll go with.
That's another one.
Is that your pick, Rhino?
Sure.
I'll go with Woodpeckers.
I'll take Centers to Saints because I pray to God they're not coming up from Somerset, Kentucky to be terrible.
And then finally, go ahead, Rhino.
I need some opinions on the bracket challenge. Should we keep doing it? We had 15 people participate last week.
Was that it?
That was it. I thought we'd have at least 20, 25. I figured Jordan Tallon get in on that. He didn't pick anybody.
I think a lot of people said they missed the deadline. They knew there was a deadline, but they kind of forgot about it. Is what they kind of told me. I think so. There was a lot of talk about it. If you don't mind doing it.
Yeah, what else I got to do?
I wanted to make sure picks didn't get exposed after the weekend before I jumped in, before I had people mad at me.
Shit, our coach was the smartest one. He bet against us, and he looked like a genius. We were up like 9-2. He pulls me and a couple other guys out the game. All of a sudden, we're in a dogfight. I said, "Dude, you just did that so we didn't cover the spread, man."
Hey.
So the winner was Evan Fetcher. How do you do, Rhino?
He got 20 out of a possible 31 points.
Pretty good.
He had 2 of the 3 winners with, I think he picked Steve's. I want to say he had Odd Socks, and then I'm not sure who he picked for the E. I don't remember, but he got 2 of the 3 right since they split. So if you picked one of them 2 teams, I gave you 5 points for that, and then he had the rest of the bracket correct as well. Apparently, the line I messed up on was Flies Guys because everybody that bet picked Flies Guys to cover. That was the only one.
Everybody picked us?
Every single person that bet picked you guys. Every other game, we had some variance on a couple people picking against who everybody else went with, but except for your game.
Did you cover, Steve?
What's that?
Did you cover?
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't look like it. I think we had 2 or 3 runs after the first inning, 8 after 2 or something like that, and then we took off after that. But it wasn't looking good for a little bit, and then we came through and covered. Did you guys cover? Oh, you guys did play the first game. Did you cover?
We did. We covered against players, I believe.
Players.
So Bert's asked me a question on here. So yes, I did think about doing that, and I tried to get that going a couple years ago, and nobody wanted to print out their bracket and send it to me. They wanted me to create a website like the March Madness Pick'em where everything was already filled in and they just go in and click their stuff. I'm not that tech savvy, so I don't know how to build a website to do that sort of thing. So it never got off the ground.
Sounds like Birch volunteering.
Birch, you're the guy. And then, so yeah, that was fun, Ryan. Thank you for doing that. Everybody was talking about if they covered or not. Everybody was asking if we could cover for them because I guess everybody picked us. That makes sense now. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was fun to talk about. Then last but not least, we got the Weekender. Only teams I saw locally going up were Woodpeckers, Legacy, Tiger Fitness, and the D. Nobody in the C. Just quickly looking. I'm sorry if I missed you. And then Dark Horse in the E. I think you have to like Legacy and the D right now. I don't know who else you would pick right now as hot as they are. When's the last time you guys lost a game?
I think it was the Mojo warm up. I think we finished third in that. And actually, the last game we lost, we were up like 27-9, pushing a run rule in the fourth. We got run ruled.
Really?
Yep.
Was Leap there that day?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
They hit around 3.5 times in one inning.
Wow.
Looks like this middle school game I'm watching.
Yeah. It felt like it.
Tiger Fitness has Light 2 this weekend in the D, so that should help them.
They sniped him from us.
Yeah.
They went to his wife. I went to him. I messed up.
Yeah, you got to go to the boss, man.
I
Go to
know.
the boss.
It's funny because I do hear more from her than I do from him.
Right.
As far as that stuff goes. She'll tell me when he's out and when he's in and all that kind of stuff. And then she'll text me like a week later. And I'm like, oh, she already talked to her. And that is pretty funny. So good luck with Dark Horse in the E. Go ahead, Rhino. My bad. Were you saying something?
No, you're good. We are a little short-handed this weekend going up there. We are missing a few people. Saturday for sure. We had Penwell for the Mojo. He won't be with us this weekend. I think he's battling a neck injury. So we don't. I don't know if Matt Miller's coming. He was going to let us know. So we're a little shorter handed than we have been. So it'll be a good test.
Bailey's back with Young Money.
Bailey's back with Young Money. Yeah, I think we're missing Joel, Felino, and Jalen Saturday. So we're going to be a little thin, but I think we only have to win 2 Saturday to get to Sunday.
Are you going to the outfield?
God, I hope not, but probably.
How many games you got in you out there?
Completely honest, I would say I got a solid 3.
A solid 3?
Like, I'll give you my best that I got for 3 games, and then unless you want me to hit 500 for you the rest of the weekend, you better just let me catch it.
So is it 3 for the weekend or 3 per day?
Oh no, that's total.
That's total.
That's all week. You better just use me Saturday because regardless, Sunday I'm complaining about something.
Can't move my legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. That's all I got. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I do want to give a shout out to all the local parks for getting the fields ready on Saturday, man. It rained a ton, and they did a great job. I know they were out 10 p.m. Friday night is when they started, and they got the fields ready. So shout out to the grounds crews at East, West, and MAB.
Definitely.
Yeah, all I kept hearing is we're not going to play. We're not going to play. And I was like, I think we're playing. And they're like, you think there will be a delay? And I'm like, nope. I think we'll probably be on time. And sure enough, we were. You guys weren't at MAB. Wags was out there working the field.
That is one park I would have expected a delay, if I'm being honest. I thought there'd be a delay at all parks, but to Rhino's point, they did a fantastic job. The fields look good. There were some wet spots a few places, but you can't control some of them puddle areas. Yeah, I do just want to give a quick shout out to my women's team that I help out with, PYL. If I didn't mention them, you know who'd be all on me after this. So
Is that Paige?
No, that's Tiff.
Nah, yeah, that's his old lady, man. He's cut off.
But yeah, those are my girls though. Congrats to them. They've been taking some lumps up in Columbus. they haven't looked great to start the year, so they definitely needed some wins, and they won the women's portion of the Slugfest. So congratulations to my girls.
Your girls. So are you the head coach, or you coach a base?
I just help out when I can. Obviously, we play at the same time. It's hard. Try to do what I can. If I give my opinion, I'm wrong. If I don't do something, I'm wrong, and I should have done something else. So you know how that is.
Does your ring fit?
Fits perfect. Thank you.
Does it?
It does.
I don't think I didn't even try mine, but they turned out pretty good.
They did. I made sure I put it on when Collins walked back out from the concession stand. So maybe that lit a fire under him to get us going the rest of that day. I don't know.
For those who don't know, JT played with us in the World that we won. We brought him in. He got ejected immediately, and maybe had another pinch hit. Right? It was.
Yeah, 1 for 1 in an ejection. Does that surprise you, Rhino?
No, not at all. Not at all. You batted 1,000, buddy. Batted 1,000.
I'll take it.
The real win was that you got ejected, and then their pitcher got ejected. So that
it was a big part of the tournament. If you ask me, it was the turning point to our success.
Sounds good. But yeah, it was cool to see Wags out there working the fields. He was working the batter's boxes and dragging it, and it was good to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. I was walking, getting foul balls. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. He just yelled, "Z, you still out here fucking doing this?" That was the only thing he said. And I said, "Yeah, Wags, yeah, for now." And then that's all. And then we were off to East after that. So good seeing him. Good tournament. Good job, Nikki and the River City crew and everybody who was a part of it. Fun tournament as always. That's all I got. I think you guys are good too. So we'll call it a night. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Later.